Yo, what up YouTube? Welcome back to the video. Today's video, I'll be pretty much telling you guys how to play as a team in ranked. Now, when you guys finally get the team together and the games just don't go as planned, there's a lot of factors to that. The one main reason is not everyone is pulling their weight pretty much, or not everyone is talking. And for you guys to pretty much be a group in ranked, everyone has to listen to each other. If that's not happening, your call outs are going to go bad, third parties are going to be there, and someone's going to make the wrong move and they're not going to listen and they're going to get down for it, and then the whole team goes down and now everyone's mad at each other. So if you and your team are struggling, or if you guys just want to simply just learn a little bit more on how you can play even better as a team, I highly recommend sending this to your friends, letting them watch this as well. And I promise you guys, your games are going to go a lot smoother, a lot better just by watching this and following some of the rules. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and hopefully some of these tips help you guys out. All right, guys, to pretty much start this off is think about your landing spot. Now, your landing spot needs to be somewhere where you and your teammates are comfortable with. Make sure it's somewhere where someone on your team absolutely does not like it at all, where they dislike it and they just say, yo, let's not land here. Just don't land there. It's not good for your team to have someone at a disadvantage simply because maybe they're not comfortable fighting there, or they just never have good luck fighting, or they never get good loot. Whatever the reason is, just don't land there. Land somewhere where everyone's comfortable with, everyone agrees. That's the thing you have to do, is to always talk as a team. When it comes to ranked, you don't always have to have a spot that you always land at as a team. It's good to have that, but sometimes the circle just doesn't go your way, or sometimes there might be too many people landing there. So it's good to just talk it out, wait and dropship just a little bit longer, and to see exactly where you want to go. Now, right here, when you land in a 50-50 situation, you want to land closer to your team. You don't want to land somewhere where your team's kind of spread out and you have an enemy between you and your teammates. That's just not good to do, because you might be able to get the kill, but his teammates could pinch you, and opposite could happen where you get pinched and now your teammates are fighting a 2v3. So make sure everyone lands somewhat close together, but still spread enough apart to get some decent loot. Right here, I'm still looting. I'm not really fully worried about helping my teammates until they say they're fully pushing. They're called out that he's getting pushed, so I immediately stop looting. Whatever I have, I'm pushing with. That's the main thing you guys need to think about. Is it doesn't matter if you have an RE or a P20. You have to help your team no matter what it is. So right there, I dropped somebody. And instead of pushing, like bubble forwarding, like you guys see me do in the past, I just throw bubble on the ground. The reason why I'm playing it smart is I'm waiting for my teammate. There's no reason for me to go out of my way to have this 1v1, the ego challenge, and me get dropped. And now my teammate has to fight a 1v1. And if he wins, great. We could potentially have a third party come and two of us are knocked, and that's just not a good situation to be in. So right there at Thirst, he calls out that he's one shot because I hit the Pathfinder once, he lasered him, and I trust his call out that he's one. That is another thing you guys need to think about. When you're making callouts, don't say he's one shot when he breaks your shield. Now, if you guys play together all the time, and one shot means, you know, break shields, which in anyone's callouts, that should never be the callout for that. Make sure you say I only broke his shields, because when you say I only did something, like I only did 40, that lets them know that that person has a lot of health to play a little different. Now, when you say they're one shot and they still have like 60 to 80 HP, now your teammate's thinking all he has to do is shoot him like twice with R9, do like a quick hip fire, and he's done. He might do that and get absolutely put down by a massive, and now everyone's just yelling at each other. So make sure your callouts are smart and smooth. By the way, when I went to res my teammate, I called out to my team that there might be a team in terminal. So when you're the jump master, it's always smart for you to look around, make sure that there's other people in your area, because if there's other people in your POI, that is a potential for a third party, especially if you land like a 50-50 situation. You always need somebody. It doesn't have to be the jump master. It's better if it's not the jump master, actually. So if you're the jump master, someone on your team needs to look around the other POIs and see exactly where others are landing. I called out someone landing terminal. I look over there. I see that the bends are open in the very front of terminal. So I call out that they're there, and I also hear them coming up already. So it's just a good thing to keep in mind is to always look around other POIs while you're landing, just to see your potential of where people could come from. So you know after you take that fight, or if that fight lasts too long, there's a potential third party coming. Or if you land somewhere like Phase Driver, if you're constantly just getting the disco balls and looting the golds and the purples, you get caught off guard and you're wondering where you got shot from or like how they got there. Well, if you're looking at the POIs, you know exactly where they come from, so you can kind of look in that area. And that's exactly what I did. I was looting the disco balls, and I had it back in my mind that this team could be here. So right here, I was pretty much waiting that entire time to get my teammate to fully group up, because you can't really take fights without like not being a team. There's no point in you playing at a disadvantage in a 2v3 when you have all three people up. So right here, it's about trusting your teammates. What I do right here, my teammates 100% trust me. I like to flank a lot. I like to flank. I like to do the most damage. I like to do the entry damage. And as a Gibby player, that might be a little awkward because I'm not a Wraith, I'm not an Ashe, I'm not an Octane, whatever it is. I have a little odd playstyle for a Gibby, but it's just my playstyle. My teammates know that, and they absolutely trust me to make this play. And they hold it off for me. So if someone always has an idea or they ever want to do like a play, follow them up on it. There's no point in not helping them, because if you don't help them, they go down. You're yelling at them for no reason when you didn't help. So right here, I make the play, of course. I catch them off guard. I bubble off the knock immediately. I always bubble off knocks. It's the smartest thing to do. But go ahead. I have a teammate with me now, and now I can fully push this because I know it's a 2v2 if we have to. And then it's about hurry up and getting the fight over with. That's why we hurry up and rush them like that. There's no point in waiting around. See what happens, because again, third parties are a potential, especially on this map. Olympus and the upcoming map Kings Canyon, third parties are around the corner, so if you take fights, you have to take them quick. So right there, we were finally able to get a knock, and we reacted off of it as fast as we possibly can, because we don't want to keep the fight dragging off for a long time to where a third party is like, you know what, we should probably push this because they're still fighting. So if you guys ever do that yourselves, where you're thinking about pushing a team, and you stop hearing the fights, like the fight stops, you're like, no, let's not push them because they probably already geared up. That's what you should always be doing whenever you're fighting somebody, is hurry up and finish the fight, because more than likely that third party is not thinking about it anymore because the fight's over with and they know you're full health and they just don't want to push that. So always know that and always keep that in the back of your mind. Is that a lot of people will not third party if the fight goes over with quickly, because they're like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that. You know, they just wipe that team pretty fast. I'm not about that life. So right here is a good thing to do as a team. In between games, in between fights, whatever it is, make sure you're laughing. Make sure you're having a good time. That's what we're doing right now. We're absolutely having a blast. Just joking around. Probably a little too much, but you know, it keeps the vibes up. It makes sure there's no like tension between anybody. If there's like something that happened earlier where you guys are mad about it, it just keeps the vibes up, which also keeps the everyone's mental right, where people can, you know, play smart, they can have fun, not really worry about getting mad and eventually getting off or making dumb plays because they're trying to outprove themselves from what they messed up earlier. Just have fun. So right now we're rotating, and everyone has that one person they always follow. Whenever I play with my friends and stuff, I am that one person that everyone follows. Kind of as like an IGL. When you play ranked, you don't necessarily need an IGL. It's not needed. It can be used very well though if you do have a certain person that you always follow, always listen to if you should take the fight or not. Some people have that simple map knowledge. They have good fight knowledge. So if you have that one person on your squad or in your team that is always playing ranked, they really know the map well. They know what's high ground. They kind of know where the zone's pulling. Follow them, listen to them. It's really good to do, but it's also really good to talk as a team. And make decisions as a team. You know, you don't necessarily need an IGL. IGLs are for high tier ranked gameplay, or if you guys are really trying, you just want to listen to that one person. I 100% recommend it, but it's not needed because IGLs are simply for tournaments. And it's better to make decisions as a team so everyone's comfortable with the decision. Right here, I wanted to back out because we already have max KP, or at least I do. So you always want to play off the person with max KP. That is a good thing to do as a team. Is I don't care if you have one assist. One assist with like right now, if one of my teammates had one assist with 9 squads, I don't want to fully ape a team just because they want KP. That's just ruining my experience, their experience, because they're playing for kills and assists, and it's not good to do that. Play off the person that has the most KP. I have 5 KP. I'm not worried about pushing that team at all. you know, as a team, we thought about it, talked about it, if we should push it or not, and we didn't push it because, in the day, there's no point in pushing that terminal team because a third party could come, and we pushed that for no reason when one of us already has 5 kills, or 3 kills to assist. There's no point in throwing that person's RP away that they potentially got. So just play smart, play zone. If there's an area that is in the middle of the zone that is a building that's a good building, like this one right here, hold it, play it as a team, and make sure no one can get it from you. And that also helps you grow as a team. Is if you're able to hold down a building like this for the entire zone, make sure you're fighting off multiple teams. It really helps your team coordination a lot. But again, talking about the whole, make sure you're not, you know, pulsing and trying to get kills when it's not needed, because you always want to play off the person with max KP or with the most KP, because again, they don't want to push it, they don't want to risk them losing any RP, so just don't do it. You can get enough RP from late game. When it comes down to like the final 2 or 3 squads, you can get all your kills just from 2 squads left easily. So think about it that way. And if you have the best spot in the game, you can hold it. There's a lot of teams that want that spot or try to rotate late, and you can easily just pluck them off as they come to you out of zone, or if they're getting shot at by multiple teams, you potentially get a kill. So make sure you're just understanding of that when it comes down to if you need KP. Just know you can easily get it when the circle gets a lot smaller, and you can still be with your team and not fully push somebody. So right here is another thing you need to do as a team is whenever you're in this building or like a certain high ground, make sure you get all the loot around you, all the shield swaps, all the shields, and put them in one particular area. So you and your team know if you guys get hit hard, or if your team tries to come up and someone gets their shield broken off, you can immediately shield swap and get right back in the fight, because that team might be thinking, you know, we broke 1, or we broke 2, go ahead and push them. If you have shield swaps in your building, you can immediately grab that and come back out, and that team's playing carelessly because they think 2 people's broken. In reality, you had shield swaps. So just always think about that. Make sure everyone's always contributing to that. Someone can always keep lookout while 2 people are running around, grabbing the shields, grabbing extra bats, stuff like that, whatever it is, because it does help out. So right here we only have 4 cells, 1 bat. We do use those up, so always think about that.
I think we look at that team coming down in states.
He wants to look at the team. He calls it out again. So this is a thing that is kind of like the unspoken kind of thing that between my teammates and I is there's a crypto drone. Whenever 2 people try to go away from the spot that you want to hold, you want to always hold the spot. You don't want to go crazy, go out of your way to get kills. You want to hold the spot down. So what Tim and Prolix are about to do here soon is they go out of their way, not crazy, they go out of their way to look at a fight, and I stay in this building. And the reason why I stay in this building and why they go a little bit away from the building is because I don't want another team to think that they can easily come and take over just because no one's there now and they see that we've rotated. As long as someone's making a presence that we're still here and we still hold the spot, teams won't push it. And your team won't be too far where if you take some shots and you shoot back, your teammates are going to be right there and it won't matter anyway. But if everyone was gone, that team could easily collapse without you knowing, and then you lose your spot and you have to take it back, or you have to find a new spot, or potentially get third party and get sandwiched between 2 teams.
Oh my god, no, I'm good.
So make sure someone's always holding the spot for your team. Now, there's a team up in the waterfall place, which is a really good zone to hold, because it's high ground. It's one of the best high grounds in the game. He's just taking some pop shots. I'm taking some pop shots because, again, I'm a Gibby. I can take these pop shots because I can take a few shots and not worry about healing. Why am I doing it with the Mastiff? I just want to be annoying. Simple as that. So right here, team close. I take some shots with him. He gets hit hard. He bats up, and we're just playing it safe. There's no point in me going over there, risking us getting shot by the other team. I go look over there since we're shooting. I make sure that the team from Waterfall is not coming over. So as a team, you want to make sure you're always looking at different areas. It doesn't have to be a designated person looking at those areas. Just make sure you're looking around. Make sure no one's third partying you. So again, as I was saying, they both went over. So I climb up. I make sure I'm constantly moving. I get somewhat close just in case they actually need help. But I'm still staying in our area that we're holding. I go back to look immediately because, again, we made some noise. We weren't as active in showing ourselves. So the team from Waterfall is pushing us. So, again, if I wasn't there, my teammates were pushed up, this team would have got here for free. And this is a good example of why someone should always be back looking around, making sure it's active. Because now they see we're back. I was able to call out to my teams. And now they're trying to run away. And now we're trying to catch them off that guard from them running. Isn't that weird? We're able to knock Gibby, and we make a play. Again, it's that unspoken thing of one of my teammates are staying back as two of us push. We all don't three need to push because, you know, we need kills. We just want to get the team out of the way. One of my teammates stays back. He doesn't worry about kills. He wants to keep that high ground. We have that high ground, have that spot. We're setting good. So the goal here for me and Tim, or Tim and I should say, is to get this fight over with as quickly as possible. Because we know we need to loot up afterwards and get right back to our teammate to secure that high ground. So again, we wipe that team right away. We just collapse them. There's no reason for them to recover. We don't have to deal with them. Just get them out the way. Since we know that we have ultimate height and we're not going to lose that spot, we just want to get them out the way just in case this team and another team kind of sandwich us and we get griefed for it. So again, make sure when you take fights, you get them over with fast if you want to commit to it. So if you're committed, get over with the fight fast as quickly as possible and get back to your building. So as soon as Tim gets back, Prolix goes down and loots for himself. And now we have two people protecting it while one person loots. Because again, it's good for everyone to get loot. And we felt safe enough in this zone. And we felt safe enough since we've been holding this so well that, you know, we can keep going, sending one person back to loot up. And since I just use alt, I go ahead and use Alt Excel to get my alt back, because it's always good for Gibby to have his alt.
Nice drilling.
So again, we're just looking both ways. We have Tim. If you look on the minimap, he keeps his triangle keeps turning each way.
Right here.
And I call out this team to the right because it's good to focus this team to the right. And if you look on the minimap again, Prolix is not looking this way. He's looking the opposite way to make sure that no one is coming to our area. From the left side. So while we focus this team from pushing in, again, look at the minimap. They're going to be outside zone unless they push through us. We want to make sure we can get them low as possible while they're pushing, so they can kind of take that storm damage, and they won't like be set up to fully push us along another team helping them. And that's why, you know, we're playing safe, taking some shots. Prolix is watching the other way, and it's good for everyone to watch different directions. And if a team's fully committed and try to pushing, at least have two people look that way and one person look the opposite way. It doesn't matter who it is, so someone needs to do it. So again, Tim and I are just making sure we can get as many shots off this team as possible. Again, you see we don't jump down right away because we're still playing it safe. We don't want to overextend for no reason. But I absolutely beam one. And we just got to push as fast as we possibly can. We got to get this team out of the way. It's not good to have a team below you. Because, again, they can get set up. And they can come up at any time. And they can cause problems. They can be under you while you're trying to focus on the teams. And someone can get knocked. So, as long as someone's watching, make sure no one can third party you. Two people can easily go down and wipe that team. And come back up and just secure the spot. So, these two teams are pushing each other. And right now, we're just grouping up as a team and just waiting to third party it. Again, Gibby should always have gold bag. So as you guys see, we're not fully like aping it yet. I know we have max KP. There's no reason for us to go in there fully and cost KP and like both teams look at us. So we're just taking our time with it. I'm a bot lord, the Kraber.
So be careful.
I go in alt again. The alt Excel is able to make me throw alt here. Hit one for 145. Able to knock him with my alt. Good alley oop for my Kraber alt play right there, and he yawns. So while they're hitting that solo, I go focus the other team because there's no reason for me to focus that solo. If they're fighting a 2v1, they should be able to handle that. So I make sure I can look at this other team while they fight. This is a good thing to do, is to make sure that someone's always focused somebody else so your teamates don't get third-partied. Just make sure you're always active as a team. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure everyone's always talking to each other, always communicating. Everyone always has a say in what the team should do. You shouldn't always have a designated IGL. You don't really need it. It's nice to have it, but again, talk as a team. Make sure everyone is playing their role. Make sure no one's playing mad aggressive just because they need KP. Because late game, you can get KP. As you guys saw, you know, people are trying to rotate into our building, and we're able to hold them off from that. So hopefully this video kind of helped you guys out. I know it was a long video of me talking and saying like a lot of information, and I repeated it a lot as well. But it's just good knowledge to have. Just make sure everyone's playing well as a team. Everyone's contributing. No one's really going out of their way to make sure they get kills and assists because you can get a late game. And it's not good to really cost for your team and do that. So just play off the person that has the most KP. That's the best thing you can always do. Is again, make sure you're always asking your teammates throughout the whole game, yo, how many kills you got? How many like kills and assists? Or like how much KP do you have? And if everyone has like yo 1, then you could potentially push a team. But again, you can get all your kills late game, especially if someone already has like 7 kills or something like that. Just play safe, play smart. Don't worry about your 0 kills because you get a lot of points for getting higher up in placement. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Again, if you and your team are struggling, make sure you send this to your friends. Help them out as well. And see you guys in the next video. Peace.